Hello, welcome back to Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, we're gonna do improvisations to create the simulations of falling sausages. And I think this can be improved. They seem to be overlapping. Each one of them has their own close simulations. But anyway, let's see how it works for us. So let's delete everything. I'm gonna be using Spreadshop nodes, and I will be using nodes called line. So line is actually really quite powerful, and we're gonna use skin measure. Skin measure is like skin modifier, but kind of special in its own way. So let's save this as sausage sim. So with line, we of course create line, and before we plug it here, we're just gonna use viewer draw. So this will generate this line, and we can center it to origin. We can use all kind of options here. I will be using the OD, and this just create a single line, and I'm gonna use actually either OD or OP, origin and this directions. So I will use random vector, and how many sausages depending on this number. So I'll make 5 sausages to start with, and we're gonna have the origin and destination point for the sausages, and change the seed for the second. So I'm just gonna plug it like that. So this will be the line that will generate our sausages. So either one of these, I think size maybe should be 1. In our case, it actually doesn't matter. If we see sausages that's overlapping, we can always use this matrix and use another line that's growing in z-axis and simply drop it like that. So the sausage are not overlapping, and we can always move it up for our simulations. Okay, so this is the setup basically. Let's plug this line into SK alpha. So this will generate our simple sausages. So this guy is actually line that's already have skin modifier and also subdivision modifier. Cool. Okay, we can increase the viewport subdivisions if we want to. For the details, for other details, we don't worry for now, but let's see how this works as simulations. Okay, you can always randomize the sausages. Let's create a floor, and this will have this become collisions. But for our claws, let's see, we're supposed to merge this into a single simulations. If we select all of this, turn on cloth, let's say we also turn on internal spring and pressure, we need to turn off this live, so Spreadshop is not disturbing the dynamic simulations. This one is actually kind of overlapping, but let's see how it works. If we Control L and connect the modifier, each of these sausages will have simulations. One thing I noticed with cloth simulations, we have multiple cloth simulations, and they seem to be in a separate physical collisions collection. I don't know why, but and I don't know what's the fix for that, but we might maybe try this. We might be able to just simply join them for now. Yeah, they're still kind of separated, unfortunately. So maybe a way to do this is to just mesh join them. So with SVerchok, we can mesh join them as a single object. I turn this back on as live. Okay, what's going on there with the... Oh, okay. I think it doesn't like multiple lines unless there's an option with a skin measure. Mark some. Interesting. So we can't really do that. Oh, okay, we can. Don't know what happened just now. Okay, the matrix. We actually don't need 5 matrix now. Let me unplug that. It should be a little bit like this. Apply matrix. We have this line and we have these matrices and we want to join them together. And so this is what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can delete. We can delete everything else. So let's try with more sausages. And perhaps spread them apart. Bring it up. Okay. Randomize the seed so they are not overlapping, hopefully, but doesn't matter. So I'm gonna turn this off. We still have cloth simulations going on, and turn on self collisions because this is a single cloth. Interestingly, now it's not colliding with our object here because of maybe collision detections. Let's try this again. Give it a cloth simulations, give this collisions, and with the cloth simulations, we gonna turn on self collisions. There you go. So maybe, so currently it's just falling down like a cloth. I forgot to turn on pressure, maybe an internal spring, and this should behave more like a rubber. Some parts is overlapping, right? So that's probably not good. We gotta fix that. Let's go back here, turn on live, spread this a little bit more. And just turn this off. Let the simulations take over. Yeah, I found this is quite interesting. After, yeah, there's a link problem there somehow. Maybe we should save the presets. There you go. We have fallen sausages. Maybe we'll stop around 250. Oh yeah, it stops around 250. We need to increase the length of simulations. 1000. And continue. There you go. So that's basically it with the sausages, but you don't actually stop here with the, because this is still kind of live. You can always make changes. So we have radius control. We have a lot of control here with Spreadshop, so you can actually use random number like this there. And I think this one is actually randomizing the skin modifier. Oh, because we have multiple objects here, so it's behaving slightly differently. But we can actually flatten this as well, so it's become something else. And we could play around with this. So this radius perhaps. So now it's like a little bit more like a soap. So let's save this very quickly, the preset, and turn off live. I think so the simulations will fail this time. But I'm gonna delete the close simulations and reapply the preset. Didn't work. So we have our simulations. Not sure what is this. Maybe it could be some kind of meat. It could be a fun idea if we probably turn it into something else, maybe like a fish. This one, make it 1000, and then to make this maybe more interesting, we can perhaps drop like a fluid simulation on top of them and add a bit of sprinkler. Enough. If I'm not wrong, actually, so far we are using line. Maybe we could just use like a circle and make like a donut ring. So this might work. And this is for our close simulations because it's just a single object. We need to reapply the close somehow. Pressure on, internal spring on, self collision, 1000 frame. Save this. So now it's a bit more complicated, but we should hopefully get a collision. It's kind of neat to have single cloth simulations, and they kind of behave a little bit like end cloth in Maya. So we have a stack of donuts now, and that's a little bit actually like a, it resembles like a Kurtosh. Kurtosh, it's a, I think it's a bread, some type of bread where it's kind of stacked together, and then perhaps at this point we can just remesh it actually. There, that's pretty much like a Kurtosh. I think the whole thing is pretty interesting. Hopefully you can try this yourself. Give this a try. It's actually really quite fun. Here, of course, you can always randomize the angle if you want something that's more random there with the donut. But I'm pretty happy with this, so I'm gonna stop here. We can perhaps try something a little bit more interesting in the future. Currently, it's cloth simulations, and they're kind of meshing and blending and creating this mesh. Still kind of interesting. Maybe at some point it's gonna fall. But the setup is procedural. This is what interesting, and I think it can be really quite powerful. So give this a try yourself. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.